We start our stream just online through computer and through the telephone line. So we have two translations. If you are watching something on YouTube, just you can watch me either on telephone, just in vertical position, or just on computer, just on a wide screen. It's up to you. Usually just internet shows you more often just on vertical stream, just on telephone, because everyone is just scrolling. I'm Victor Fursov, and this is my channel devoted to insects and entomology. Today we are going to talk about entomology, about insects. We are going to talk about butterflies, about moths, about different stick insects, about parasitoids, which are parasitizing on different another phytophagous insects. Because if you are entomologist, you can be interested either in phytophagous insects or in parasitoids or just in detritophagous insects. All insects, they have a different, very different ecology. So I'm specialized on parasitic wasps. You can observe them here just behind of me. They're just here on this poster. These are tiny, but here quite a big one. Tiny parasitoids, calcid wasp of the superfamily Calcidoidea. I'm studying trichogram of very tiny parasitoids. They're egg parasitoids of different flies, beetles, butterflies, moths, eggs of these tiny insects. So my tiny trichogramma and trichogrammatida parasitoids were indicated here on screen as well. This very unique one parasitoid, which is not visible on telephone but visible on computer, with an interesting ovipositor. Unique one, Xiphogamma, by the way. But today we are going to talk about what? About butterflies and about night moths. Maybe more about night moths. Why? Because just I got motivation from my friend and my colleague who is studying, who is breeding, who is rearing moths and deadly butterflies at home. Not in laboratory, he's breeding them at home. Because he's not professional entomologist, he's amateur. He has his profession, separate one. But he loves insects, he loves butterflies. Yes, I have manipulation with my light. So now light is better on computer because I have two different lamps. So I'm going to talk about butterflies, about moths. Some people do like big animals and big birds, especially some rich people enjoy birds like falcons. If you're watching me from Saudi Arabia or from East Asia, so I definitely can enjoy falcons. I got this nice book from my friend in Britain, who this lady was, she was curator of Natural History Museum Library. She sent me this book. I'm pleased to show you some of these biggest, like these. As I said, some people enjoy big animals and nice birds like falcons. And they're really nice. But to study them it's quite difficult. To collect them it's quite difficult. To breed them very difficult. Sometimes collecting, this is just prohibited stuff. But if you are an entomologist, sometimes to collect entomological material it's also quite difficult. And some material can be also protected by the law, like these lovely falcons. Many of these species are really endangered species. Hello for people who is joining us and who is writing hello on screen. I guess so I can show you later in a separate stream this nice book, because here a lot of different very interesting illustrations, very nice, not photographs but colorful pictures, drawings, absolutely wonderful. To breed these lovely falcons, you need to have very special facilities. Once I visited a very special nature reservation place, in a secret place where some ornithologists, they were studying, they were breeding falcons in captivity. Even I do remember how one ornithologist, expert who is studying birds, he was feeding these tiny chicks, like here. He was feeding these chicks with meat, artificially, with forceps. He used forceps, and he was feeding them just half of hour, one by one. They were sitting inside cage, and he was feeding because they are not in a natural nest. They were not in a natural nest. They were in artificial. They were from incubator. So he used meat, just cutted meat, and he gave them just one by one. Some chicks were passive, some chicks were very active, so they were jumping. And he said, you see, the chicks of falcons, they have a different behavior. Some of them melancholic, some of them passive, but some are very active. They were jumping out of cage always. One was the most quick. So in this nature reservation place, ornithologists, specialists on ornithoptera, not ornithoptera, bird wings, on butterflies, but on birds. They were breeding, and they are breeding now as well, different birds in captivity, and they're selling them for money, to support a nature reservation place. So that's why for them it's kind of business. But today we will be talking also about breeding, but not breeding about breeding of falcons, because it can be difficult. Some falcons are really endangered. They're protected by the law. It's out of law. It's smuggling on the activity. If you are collecting falcons, it's prohibited. But some other animals can be bred in captivity if you are an entomologist. Butterflies like this, lovely different butterflies. They can be bred in captivity if you know their behavior, if you know their biology, if you know how to collect them, how to study them, how to find their host plant, and how to breed them in captivity. Even some rare butterflies, rare night moths can be bred in captivity with artificial conditions, with their native host plant, or maybe with another host plant, but in artificial conditions, because you know, of course, in a laboratory, in a room, or in just at your house, conditions can be absolutely different. Some people enjoy breeding daily butterflies. Some people enjoy breeding night moths, because night moths were bigger. One of the famous guys on YouTube channel, Bart Coppens from Netherlands, he likes to show different night moths which he is breeding at home. He is showing sometimes a lot of caterpillars of these moths. He has been traveling in Brazil and in Africa, and now he is showing in his shorts, in short streams, in short video, different butterflies from Africa. I didn't go to Africa for collecting butterflies and moths. I can show you some interesting butterflies and night moths from Ukrainian flora, not flora, from Ukrainian biodiversity, Ukrainian fauna of butterflies and moths. So because I'm translating this video not from Africa yet, not from America yet. You know, just we're now in a stage of a Russia-Ukrainian war, by the way. It's not easy to go to the forest, not easy to go to the river for fishing, not easy to go to forest for sweeping by butterfly net. Where is my butterfly net? This is, I have only aquarium net. I can be fishing only using yellow pen traps, collecting tiny parasitic wasps. because they're flying everywhere around like plankton, because I'm studying parasitic wasp, and we will be talking about it today, by the way. But if you are going to forest with your butterfly net, it's a little bit prohibited in some places, especially near the front line. It's completely dangerous because of minefields and because of also some explosions everywhere around, not only near the front line, but even outside. Because, you know, some crazy Russian missiles and air drones were flying and they are flying from time to time on a far distance out from the front line. And it's crazy. But fortunately, for today, for this moment, we don't have air alert signal, telephone little bit silent. We have opportunity to show this stream, and we take this opportunity to entertain you about Ukrainian entomology and the breeding of butterflies. I was thinking which language to use for this stream, Ukrainian, Russian, or English. I decided to tell you just in English for a wider audience, because if you do not speak English, if you do not understand English, if you are not listening and you do not understand at least little bit from my speech, no problem, just you need to go to another channel. Some people from United States, from California, from Texas, Arizona, Alabama, DC, Washington, Virginia are watching me just more or less pretty often on my streams, so I really appreciate their support and their curiosity. Because today I will be talking about Ukrainian amateurs, who is a Ukrainian amateur who is breeding night moths in captivity. By the way, I'm one of them as well, because I got a lot of gifts which are just noisy here in this dish. And who is this here? These are cocoons of a Saturnia piri. Saturnia piri. I did a lot of streams about caterpillars of Saturnia piri. These are cocoons of giant peacock moth. Cocoons and they have inside pupa of giant peacock moth. Saturnia piri. Very common butterfly, by the way. Very common just on picture. You will not find it in nature. Very common in a book. Very common in an atlas, just in literature. But if you are going outside to the park in the city, if you're going to botanical garden, if you're going just look around somewhere in the forest near your village or near your city, somewhere in Ukraine, you will not find it because it's very rare. Very rare. It was included even in a red book of Ukraine of endangered species, but now it was excluded because more or less common, and some people are breeding them in captivity. What is the purpose? I do not understand Bart Koppen, by the way, sometimes. When and why and for what? For which money as well. For parents' money, I guess. Not only for his own money. He's buying different cocoons of night moths in Africa, in Brazil, in America, in South America, keeping them in Netherlands, and they're hatching it in many numbers at home. He shows us a lot of butterflies and a lot of caterpillars, because it's difficult to breed them at home, especially on non-native host plant. But this tiny, not tiny, this pretty big moth, about 4 centimeter size cocoons, pretty tough, strong enough, a little bit hairy, considering which have inside some pupae. These are pupae of Saturnia piri, giant peacock moth. I got caterpillars from my friend Oleg from Chernihiv city on the north part of Ukraine. His great enthusiasm, and I really appreciate his help as his enthusiasm to share his enjoyment of butterflies and moths. So that's why I have opportunity to show you some insects just on my videos. And now I have just a package from post office Nova Posta, New Post, Nova Posta. I got yes, we're just moving. We're moving and making noise. I got some caterpillars in summertime, in June, in May, I don't remember. I had just this culture in my big plastic box. I don't have too much space to keep them just in bunches, on branches of pears and apples as well. But I cut pears, leaves, and I fed them with these leaves during the June, July, and August. And I got, I guess, about 15 different very nice pupae of Saturnia peri, giant peacock moth. Nice to meet you, Lama. What is your home country? Write your home country. I'm translating this video about butterflies and moths from Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine, and I'm in a hurry to do it because I must be careful because I'm translating just online. And this is online stream. Sometimes it's noisy outside. And now we have heard already this is tiny bell on my telephone. It means air alert. Some air drones are coming to Ukraine, air drones coming to Kyiv, capital of Ukraine. You are a little bit in danger. This little bit, it's something like a little bit expensive. Some dishes. You can buy a dish for $10 and $50 or $100. It's a little bit expensive. So we don't know what's going on. Sometimes it's noisy because they're just coming somewhere on air, very far away. But it's very noisy. And after that we can hear just a lot of shootings and sometimes heavy explosions, by the way. One of time I just heard just 6, 7 and more explosions during half an hour. But now it's midnight, so our bloody neighbors, very crazy one, who do not appreciate independence of Ukraine and do not appreciate the law, do not appreciate the relations between cities, countries, people, were sending these bloody air drones for surveillance somewhere around, preparing maybe some attacks by air missiles. And our air forces just shot them down, so they're falling down, making a lot of damages sometimes. Including this drone is coming down, he's making damage of some buildings, some cars, and some people are dying. So that's crazy war, by the way. Anyway, we're just moving, we're just alive. And these are giant peacock moths. Hello to Poland, Lama. My great pleasure to tell you. Greetings from Kyiv, capital of Ukraine. Are you interested in insects? Are you interested in nature, in biology? Or you just eventually came to my channel just by surprise that I am talking something strange and I am showing some interesting pictures. Now I'm showing you some interesting, very nice cocoons. I got these cocoons in captivity. These cocoons of a giant peacock moth in Latin name Saturnia peri. I fed caterpillars with pear leaves. They were growing slowly. The caterpillars were a big one, about, not like that, not 30 centimeters, about 10 centimeters size. No, I'm wrong, maybe 9 centimeters size, like my finger. Very fat, very hairy, very bright, absolutely amazing, and very hairy with very long hairs like sticks. Little bit dangerous to touch them, but they're absolutely amazing. So it's quite interesting to breed them in captivity. I got initial culture of these caterpillars, small caterpillars, and just even eggs of caterpillars from my friend Oleg, who is living in Chernigov on the north part out of Kyiv city. So thank you very much for him. But today, as I said, I got from him Next package. Because he has a moth breeding, it's a laboratory, moth breeding farm, butterfly farm. Yes, you know, some indigenous people are breeding different butterflies in Papua New Guinea, just maybe for feeding, for eating, because they were hungry. But now we're feeding US dollars, because butterflies and bird wings, butterflies in Papua New Guinea are very expensive. We will be talking about it later, because some butterflies in Papua New Guinea are also endangered and protected by law, and some of them can cost thousands of dollars, hundreds, thousands of dollars. Hello to USA nickname. What is your home state? Today I'm talking about butterflies. I'm talking about night moths, about breeding of them in captivity, because I have some pupae, I have some cocoons, I have even some caterpillars from my friend. Georgia, yes, next one state which I will mention. I mentioned already Alabama, Arizona, Florida, Virginia State, DC, Washington State and Washington DC, and Poland as well. Yes. So I'm going to show you some gifts which I got today, and these gifts are stick insects and also some night moths of another species. What is another species? Deadhead moth. I have also dried specimens here. Maybe I can show you later. Everyone knows that deadhead moth. This is strange with skull, big butterfly, about this size, not like this size. Yeah, about this size. I have this one, by the way. It's strange, I can show you deadhead moth. Sorry about that. I'm very careful. Entomologist, I keep in insects on special plate for drying. So I have them as well. And here I have some insects which are drying readily, and these are stick insects and deadhead moth as well. Sorry that they died naturally. I didn't kill them with ether, not with ethanol. They died naturally, we were feeding. So stick insects. This Dytiscus I collected near my apartment. The predaceous diving beetle. And these are different insects for sure, but this is a deadhead moth. Yeah, I show you for computer as well. Entomologists are using this special plate for spreading insects, to show them in correct position, not just like that, not curved, but in correct position. I do it not for science, not for studying them, because this species is already well studied. I'm doing it for education, because it's quite difficult to find something interesting in this species, which we were extremely well studied, maybe 200 years. But something interesting, something unique is still present. And I tell you a little bit more about it. Because if even you are just breeding some of these insects in captivity, you can create new methods of breeding. Hello Dmitry, hello Hadia from Morocco are joining us. So these are different insects. Deadhead moth, Acherontia arthropus, family hawkmoths, Sphingidae. They are not on pins because they needed to be shown in special cages. Okay, we see. We have a new visitor from Austria, from Vienna. I have been in Vienna only once. I spent 2 days in Vienna when I was flying from London to Kyiv. because I missed my flight. I was sleeping in the airport in Vienna. I wanted to visit Vienna myself to watch for Vienna theater, but custom policeman said we have a lot of gypsy today. We caught them here. Why you need to have some troubles to go to Vienna and spend couple $100 just for hotel? Just stay here in hotel, not on hotel. Stay here on chair. You can drink, you can buy some food. Let's go to the shop and you can buy food. So I bought a lot of food for 2 days, and I spent 2 days before my next flight, because it was a lot of time ago and not many flights were flying from London to Kyiv in this time. So, but it was funny experience. So that's why I am not afraid about airports. Even I do know what's meaning of this movie, Airport. You know what I mean. Where how to show? You're right. I show for computer as well. That had moth for computer. I'm a little bit afraid. Don't put them down. Yes. This is predaceous diving bean Dytiscus, and these are different stick insects. And lovely deathhead moth as well. I collected water beetle Dytiscus because predaceous diving beetles very like to fly away out of river, and sometimes they're coming to the light. So this beetle was still alive when I collected him. I don't remember, morning time, but still died. Maybe he fell down just on the ground on asphalt road, and it was too much shock for him. So this lovely beetle died. So this part of... So what's about Acherontiatropos, as I'm talking about? Deathhead moth. Let's go to show you some stages of their development. Let's go to show you caterpillars. Let's go to show you butterflies. Not butterflies alive. I don't have. Oleg has a butterfly farm, but he sent me some material for free. If you want to receive it in Ukraine, you can order. You can make some orders from him. Доброго вечора. Yes. As we are talking in Ukraine. Доброго вечора. Мы из Украины. Some people are talking about it from Nikolaev city. And we are proud about them. Because Nikolaev Nikolaev, Kherson, and Odessa are very close to front line. And we are fighting against our bloody neighbor. And we have a lot of casualties. So, I have a lot of cages. So, regularly I will tell you about butterflies and sticks in captivity and my gifts, which I got today. I visited the post office and I got this box. If you are breeding insects, or maybe not only insects in Ukraine, you can also send me a package of your insects. I can tell you something about them, and I can tell you about your breeding activity, maybe like kind of advertisement of your company, or you're just amateurs efforts. Maybe you are just making a little bit business. Maybe you can sell some butterflies, night moths, mantids, stick insects for small business in Ukraine. Of course, in Ukraine it's not very big business. This is amateur business. This is business for crazy entomologists, for crazy amateurs who enjoy insects. And the number of these people are really very limited. Some rich collectors, they are not breeding insects. They are buying insects on pins or just in triangle packages for showing them just on the walls in their cottages and their rich houses. But some amateurs, they enjoy process of breeding. How to breed them, how to feed them, how to clean their cage from dust, from poop. It's also very funny. So what I got? Today I got very small package very small package. This like a small plastic place. Here some eggs. These are eggs of stick insects. Because if you are keeping stick insects growing, feeding on plants. And I have some tiny eggs of stick insects, which looks like a seeds. It looks like a seed. Some of them big one, some small one. I have got also myself some stick insects eggs. They're very funny. There are also some parasitoids of stick insects from Chrysalidae family, but they are living in tropics, I guess, in semi-tropical region, in natural places of stick insects. In our area, in captivity, we do not receive parasitoids, but if you collect some native species of moths and butterflies, in Ukraine and in neighboring countries, in temperate region, you can also collect parasitoids. That's why I put in my title of this stream, rearing of moths, caterpillars, stick insects, and parasitoids. I will show you parasitoids as well. Hello, Ahlovka, Tupierglovka, the name in Polish, Tupierglovka. Deadhead moth, Tupierglovka. Very funny. Deadhead moth, Tupierglovka. So far, I got some cans here. And what's here? My friend, he's breeding caterpillars on branches of different plants because he has different insects and different caterpillars. So different species. He has a very large culture of deadhead moth now, because it's time. Deadhead moth can be bred during the whole season. And even just breeding such a very common, simple species, you can receive something interesting, observations, very interesting experience, because you can use artificial diet, artificial meal, which can be constructed using different substances, secret substances, which you can order from China, or you can create yourself with some vitamins, with some minerals, with some proteins. And also it's quite important to feed caterpillars with plants, and sometimes you can add pieces of these plants, with just mixed pieces of plants with artificial substance, with artificial diet. So, and caterpillars will be growing better. I didn't breed them just on artificial diet. I bred these caterpillars just on pear trees leaves. But what do I keep here? Some kind of paper. So where are caterpillars? Caterpillars are sitting here inside these plastic boxes, inside these plastic caps. Why? You can see here someone is on the bottom of these plastic boxes. These are caterpillars. Why they're just down there? You say they're hungry, they're just hiding here. No, they're not hungry, because they're already well fed and they're hiding. I have 3 caterpillars. I have 3 caterpillars in different boxes, and all of them sitting down there. What happened? When caterpillars are feeding on, I can show you. You see, something greenish is down there. Caterpillar were growing up to the size about maybe 9 centimeters. Very big one. Deadhead moth caterpillar, very bright. And finally, she's changing a little bit color, and she's trying to escape from a branch of tree. She's not feeding anymore. She's going down there to the soil. It's possible to use soil like this one. I go to the soil as well with one, not a caterpillar, but with one pupa inside. Pupa is here. I can show you it later. This is a pupa. Hello, Javad. Greetings from Iran. written from Iran is good enough if you're a good person, because sometimes we're receiving some greetings from air drones which were constructed in Iran. So unfortunately. So caterpillars are going down. I show for computer as well. So that's why it's possible to give them this box with paper. They will not be afraid about paper. They can use paper like it's soil. They're going down. They extract a little bit of water, little bit poo, and they are waiting for pupation. So they came down to these jars for pupation. So that's why these tiny, not tiny, these big caterpillars, they are waiting for pupation. They're in a stage of prepupa. Someone is asking a very funny question about beetle, how to measure beetle. You can measure beetle with meter, with ruler, the special. So a very easy one, which is used for mechanics. So, and we can watch now. So you can use either soil, or kind of soil which is used for floristics, very soft soil, like greetings to Javad, if you're a good person. And what's going here? Alex said I can show this caterpillar without any problems, because she's already in a stage before pupation. She doesn't need any food anymore. She already extracted little bit of water, and I can show you on my palm myself. So I take off this little bit rubbish. It's very important to give just here a lot of filter paper or toilet paper. Because of extraction of water, paper became very wet. And pupa of hawk moths, actually without cocoon. That's very important. Without cocoon, so I can show you this caterpillar with no damage very easily how she looks like. I can take it off. I'm taking it off. I'm very careful. And I put it back. Pupa is still not formed, and caterpillar is still very active. Still very active. Surprised what I am going to do. I was motivated to show you this stream with these lovely caterpillars, which I got from my friend Oleg from Chernigov. Thank you very much, Oleg, if you are watching me. And I had this deadhead moth caterpillar on my fingers. She's crawling very well. She's alive. She's preparing for pupation in a cage, an artificial place. And we can wait for her appearance from her hatching time, maybe after several months. It's possible to put a pupa inside little bit cold place, and pupa will survive very well during winter, cold winter. This is a deadhead moth caterpillar, and hawk moths of the family Shingidae. They have this kind of horn. On computer less visible, but on telephone it's better visible. I'm trying to be very careful. So you can watch here on the near the end of body. Caterpillar has a horn. If you see horn on caterpillar, this is meaning this is a hawk moth. I'm pleased that she's not sleeping very. Yeah, you see here, this is a horn. I had once a small discussion with one young Ukrainian boy who is living now in Japan, he took some photographs of a hawkmoth caterpillar on asphalt road in Japan, and he was asking, what is that? Is it a caterpillar? Is it a moth? Is it a butterfly? I said, this is a really hawkmoth caterpillar because of horn. But in Japan in summertime, sometimes possible to find a lot of Saturniidae family, which are caterpillars which are making cocoons as well. And I have seen a lot mass movement of Saturniidae caterpillars in Japan. When I visited, once I was walking, when I was on a bike, and just the whole road was full of caterpillars. Caterpillars were crawling across the road, and they were just different Saturnian species. I was very surprised. And this time I didn't have idea to breed them. I was just shocked how many of them. Just maybe 20 meters of cars road were smashed. We smashed caterpillars because we're moving from the forestry place to the agricultural road, green roadside place. And some people on bikes and on cars just smashed a lot of caterpillars. And when I was visiting just this forest, in the forest actually there is a noise. Some Saturniidae moths were sitting, not some moths, caterpillars, were sitting somewhere up where, on trees, and were eating, were feeding on leaves. And when I visited forest with caterpillars in the May time, in the June time, with a lot of caterpillars, sometimes it's possible even to listen, even to hear the noise how caterpillars are eating leaves. Even in Ukraine, I visited botanical garden, Grishko Botanical Garden in Kyiv, and we were sitting with my son under the big oak tree, and huge oak tree was eaten by a lot of mining caterpillars and different caterpillars, and it was a little bit noise. If you was listening a little bit carefully, caterpillars were chewing leaves, and just some poo was dropping down, and sometimes caterpillars falling down. These heavy caterpillars also can fall down, and then they're just moving on the ground to search for place of pupation. But Sphingidae do not make cocoon, but this cocoon of a giant peacock moth. And in Japan, some silk moths of a family Saturniidae are making same cocoons as well. But this is a caterpillar, big caterpillar with deathhead moth and cocoon of giant peacock moth. We have 33 visitors for today on my telephone and less visitors on computer. I can show you on computer closely, because here on telephone you can see just cocoon of giant peacock moth, and on computer you can watch lovely caterpillar of deathhead moth as well. Some people I can show you. I have a dish with 15 different cocoons of giant peacock moth. I was breeding them during the summer, and so they pupated inside cocoons. So these hairy silky cocoons are silk moth cocoons of a giant peacock moths, Saturnia peri. Thank you, Oleg, for this funny caterpillar. I am very careful about this caterpillar because she's weak already now. She is already did the water and poop, and she's not so active. She's not touching so strongly as before making a pee. Yes, she's making pee again. She's making a pee because she's extracting extra water. She's extracting extra water before pupation. So she made a poo and pee on me. Yeah, this is natural behavior of little baby, of this big baby, of this grown baby. Because grown baby is going to be not a baby, but adult. But before adult, she needs to become pupa, intermediate stage, like a human is going to be adult in puberty time, like a teenager. So you can say maybe pupa, this is teenager time for caterpillar. I'm very careful trying to keep her on my palm because she's not attaching very well and can fall down very easily. But if you have just young caterpillar is crawling very well. Hello friends who is joining us on this stream. Write in comments, write in chat. What is your home country? If you are from friendly country to Ukraine. If you are from not friendly country and you can write something strange, I can block this person very easily. No problem about it. No problem about it. Yes, for sure, this caterpillar is very common in some southern countries because natural population in Ukraine is very limited. We consider this deadhead moths were just flying from the south to the north. They're flying from North Africa and flying to Crimea, South Ukraine, and even to the north of Ukraine, just because of migration. So Ukraine is not natural place, not natural environment for living because little bit cold. But in southern countries, we are living in natural environment. These caterpillars, deadhead moths. I can try to show you the second one. Let's check the next one. She created here a special cavity. Caterpillar not did only poo and pee, but also created a cavity. She's trying to escape from my cage. And then I show you the pupa. I can show you a second caterpillar altogether, if she will be active as well. Who knows? Just falling down. Yes, very. So that's why I'm trying to show you it today, because who knows, with insects you always need to be careful and take the moment, because if you want to take a photo of insect, you need to take a moment and take a photo. If you want to take a photo tomorrow, insect can die very easily, can escape very easily, or insects can create in a new stage of development, like from caterpillar became a pupa. But I have another pupa. Alex sent me just one pupa, which is laying here inside. I showed you already. Oh, this tiny baby is also making a pee and poo. Baby is going to be adult. Very big baby. Yes, of course, because she's not very happy. I took her outside from the cavity, from the cage, from her sleeping house. So she made again extraction of pee and poo on me. Extracted little bit water. This is very normal. Small baby is going to become an adult. So don't be surprised, it's not problem if you just got a little bit pee and poo from caterpillar. Caterpillar is going to be pupa. I can show you. Someone is asking a question about microscope. Someone is asking about microscope, how to measure insects with measurements using a common microscope MBS. To make measurements, you need to use microscope. For microscope, you have objectives just near the insect, near the object, and oculars. So you need to put these measurements in oculars. So you can change the size, or just zoom if you use Chinese or Japanese microscope. You can change 2, 4, 10, 20, but objective usually magnification objective here. You can change objective, but you can watch also into oculars. Oculars magnification 8 or 10. So sometimes it's possible to use very special micro rule, which is inserted inside oculars, like this one, but transparent on glass. So you can use the rule to measure caterpillars and butterflies. So now we can measure our caterpillar. So to be precise, to say the size of caterpillar 8 centimeters after making pee and poo. So before size was about 9 centimeters, I'm sure. So because body is just a little bit reduced. Yes, about 8 centimeters, quite a big one. So not very small. 9 centimeters, very good size for caterpillar. Some people in Papua New Guinea enjoy eating them. Very good food. But some people are breeding these lovely insects, these lovely caterpillars, not for fun, not for observations, but also for feeding their pets, like some frogs and some lizards. And these bloody frogs and lizards, we can eat tobacco caterpillar, tobacco hawk moth, and sometimes deathhead moth. So caterpillar is very tasty for lizards, but I will not eat them, don't worry. So these are caterpillars of deathhead moth on my palm. So we can crawl a little bit. They don't like to be in fingers, for sure. Would you like to do it? To be if somebody is keeping you in fingers? So we try to escape. Yes, but don't worry. She's very soft but very strong. I do not damage this cloudy caterpillar. Don't worry about caterpillar. We have 45 visitors. What country are you coming from to our stream? I'm showing caterpillars of deathhead moth. They are bred in laboratory. I'm translating this video from Kyiv, capital of Ukraine. And these are caterpillars of deathhead moth, Acherontiatropos family, Syngidae. They're alive. They're already fully grown. They're just before pupation. That's why I'm putting them back to plastic jars. Thank you for watching them. So we will be happy to come down again. So we will not escape. We will not go up. We are going down because the behavior, they are making cavity somewhere down inside the ground. So if you give them just a pieces of paper, good enough. Paper is very important, filter paper, to take off water, because you notice they're making pee and poo. So she will not escape. She will make again cavity down there, and she will pupate successfully. Maybe tomorrow, maybe after tomorrow, after a few days. I put you down there. Right. so you can sleep for tonight. Fortunately, usually she's not coming out, upward, she's going downward. And what's going to be here? What was in this cage with the soil? In this soil, Oleg sent me pupa. And where is pupa? I already showed you pupa. Pupa is here in this another plastic cage. I already extracted pupa from the soil to show you. And it was not only pupa, it was also a small piece of skin. What kind of skin? This is a skin, this is a shell after the caterpillar pupated. Caterpillar just crushed and put skin out. So this small piece of skin with head, this is a skin after pupation. And where is pupa? Pupa is here inside this cage. And she's absolutely amazing. She's wonderful. She's very soft. She's moving her tail. You can recognize this is a pupa deadhead moth. Well, yes, I need my artist back. One artist active, so I can show active artist. So this caterpillar will become this pupa. So pupa is shorter for sure, but still pretty heavy. And she's alive, she's moving her tail. And you can notice here a little bit horn. And this long caterpillar becoming this heavy pupa with move tail which is moving. So if you are keeping it for a long time, maybe a few months, sometimes pupa can die. And you can notice pupa is not moving anymore. Sometimes pupa can die, can dry. Maybe conditions can be not very comfortable. So caterpillar can become a pupa, but pupa can die in artificial conditions and also in natural conditions too. It happens. In natural conditions, pupa can die because of some viruses, because of some microorganisms, because of fungi in soil, because you understand that caterpillar is going down inside the soil, making a cavity inside the soil, becoming a pupa. For pupa it's very difficult to survive during rainy autumn, rainy and cold, maybe snowy winter, and again a rainy springtime. You also need to emerge only next season, next spring, next summer. So a lot of difficulties for such lovely pupa. But nevertheless, some of them can survive and can give birth to adults of deadhead moths. Goodbye Hadiyat from Morocco. Fe from London asked about parthenogenetic stick insects. Actually, we have several species here, not parthenogenetic, with males and females. So sometimes some species, it's many species of stick insects for sure. Some of stick insects can be parthenogenetic, which with only females. But I have 3 species of stick insects, and I will show you them now. Don't worry about it. We still have time, and we still have no explosions outside, fortunately. So this, how to show you. You can watch carefully for pupa. Pupa is moving, but you can see here just some legs. You can see here future wings. You can see this future abdomen. You can see even here future forelegs, mid legs, and hind legs, and eyes were visible on pupa, which is initially light yellow but became later brownish and dark brown. And she's heavy. And it's actually, I am thinking this is a male, lighter, but this is heavy. Female. Female pupa is usually bigger and more heavy. Heavier. So thank you, Oleg, for giving such a nice, funny gift as a pupa. And these lovely 3 caterpillars of deadhead moth. On computer I am showing, on computer this is a pupa, and this is a caterpillar of deadhead moth. And you see how caterpillar is beautiful, with some stripes. With some stripes of blue and white stripes on the body. Actually, Oleg was feeding them with artificial diet, and surprisingly, using artificial diet, the coloration of caterpillars changed. They became white. But if you can add mixed cutted pieces of plants in artificial diet, coloration can be returned a little bit. But these were growing during the summertime on natural plants, on lilac plants, on lilac leaves. Very common plant, so easy to find somewhere near the courtyard of each building. So caterpillars, they have a wonderful coloration. And for sure you can see here yellow horn. No, they are very happy. I do not disturb them. I just show you. I'm very careful. Don't worry. I'm just even touching them. I can kiss them. Kiss and touch. And you can watch here how she's moving the tail. Yes. I hope. So I put caterpillars back. I need to close with filter paper to make some kind of environment. And she's moving. So you see, pupa is moving. But if pupa is just inside cocoon, like giant peacock moth, pupa is making a noise. Some species making a noise. Han Solo is not insect lover for sure. Some occasional visitors. If you are collecting some phytophagous insects as butterflies, you are collecting caterpillars for breeding. And this is the most important, most interesting part of observations. Collecting caterpillars, feeding them, and then you can receive pupa. But what happens if you collected caterpillar and you receive a pupa, but collected caterpillar just in the nature, outside, somewhere on plants? And Oleg had his funny experience with parasitoids. For example, he sent me his parasitoid, and I can show you my parasitoids. Before showing them, I also can show you one interesting cocoon. So you understand this. These cocoons are very silky cocoons. But I have here some funny piece of bark from a tree. And here a little bit something strange. Oleg collected some caterpillars in the nature, and he collected also cocoons just under the bark of tree. Who is this? Who is this? This is strange. Very strange caterpillar made a cocoon. Very strange insect made a cocoon. Just somewhere under the bark of tree. Who is this? This was special moth with name Harpia. Ценура. Cerura or Dicnarura. Dicranura. Cerura vinula, Latin name. Or puss moth. Puss moth. Here, very tiny cocoon. Not visible on screen because everything looks like a dead wood. I will show it to you later on a big screen for and the microscope next time. But here this is a cocoon of Cerura vinula, or puss moth, of family Noctuidae, Notodontidae. Caterpillar is not very big one, but moth is very nice, white color, hairy, but she's making very tough cocoon. And under the bark of tree, and she's using silk, she's using small pieces of wood to create a kind of protection. So cocoon becoming very tough, like a bark. You can think that this is a part of tree, not a cocoon, but only very careful entomologists can understand, and you can find some interesting observations even under the bark of tree. Here, this is small piece. This is a cocoon of Cerura vinula of Notodontidae family. Under the bark of tree. This is external part. This is internal part. You can take off it. You can find very funny cocoon. Our visitor Schultz likes very much beetles. From caterpillar we receive moth or butterfly, not beetle. She's writing not in English. If admin do not understand English, that's a little bit your problem because I'm talking for English speaking audience and 45 people of English speaking audience watching us. Maybe you're from Alabama, Arizona, maybe you're from California, maybe you're from Texas, maybe you're from Virginia, Washington, D.C., and Washington State. Maybe you're from... Today we had a visitor from another state. I forgot the state. Which one? From Austria, from Georgia. We had a visitor from Georgia. We had a visitor from Morocco, from United Kingdom. What I am provoking? I am do not provoking at all. Just learn English. That's very easy. It's very easy. It's very useful. What's about parasitoids? As I said, I have two different parasitoids here. One is larval parasitoid, and the next one, this is a pupal parasitoid. Why? I collected some cocoons on grass 3 days ago, and you can watch here. I did already videos. Something is crawling here around inside this plastic bottle. A lot of ants, you say, crawling here around. No, I collected white cocoons of parasitoids, and these are tiny parasitic wasps of a genus Apantales or Pocotasia. Already nearly 100 of them, and they were hatching from cocoons. But cocoons were arranged on the body, on the skin of dead caterpillar, or family Noctuidae, or just bollworm family. So you can see my other streams with this funny, very interesting, but not very small, relatively big larval parasitoids. Larval parasitoids because they are parasitic wasps feeding on the larva of host. Host is dying, unfortunately, so we can say they are parasitoids. Some parasites like worms were not killing the host, but tiny insects were killing host, so they are named parasitoids. They are parasitic wasps. Yes, Globa from Vienna, I guess so, you are right. So don't worry about it. One extra word and he or she will be deleted. Or you did it, okay, no problem. So I can touch my nose, I can feel that someone is not very positive. If you're not positive and you're making negative impressions for our beloved insects lovers audience, you can be deleted and banned. That's very easy, by the way. Very easy. I don't know who is who, but provocations can be deleted as well. So, hello Javad. So, you see, I collected here 15 cocoons on a ground, near the ground. Tomorrow I'm expecting to go for a walk nearby. I'm going for shopping. And when I'm going to shopping, I'm just watching around to the courtyards near different apartments. I'm watching for weeds. And on some weeds you can find some white cocoons. You can say, these are cocoons of spiders. No, these are not spiders. These are not something like a dust, not a ball of cotton. These can be cocoons of parasitoids. And I collected 15, about 15, I guess so, small pieces of weed, which is named very funny, goosewood weed, goosewood, in Latin name Henapodium, with 15 cocoons. And already I noticed here 2 different species of family Braconidae, larval parasitoids of Noctuidae family. Yes, for computer I can show for computer a little bit. They're pretty small, about 4 mm size, 6 mm size. But they were eventually hatching from cocoons. Each cocoon had and has about 20 small cocoons, and they covered like a piece of ball inside cocoon. 10 or 20 different small cocoons. From each of them emerged tiny parasitoid of Braconidae family. 2 different species. One is black and one is so much slender and longer. And the 3rd species can be secondary parasitoid. But still I didn't see secondary parasitoid, but it's very common with some other species like genus Gallus without wings. Wingless braconid can attack first primary parasitoid, so he's named secondary parasitoid, so genus Gallus. You can check it in the library, you can check it in literature. You can take, for instance, our book, published in Ukraine, as Atlas of Parasitic Wasps. And here we have a lot of pictures of different parasitic wasps, different drawings, this atlas of entomophagous insects. Most of drawings belong to Hymenoptera, but we have also a lot of drawings with Diptera and beetles and other. So here this Ichneumonidae family, for instance. Here Braconidae, I guess so, tiny Braconidae. This is Braconidae microgastrine. Apanthalis looks like that, like coloration. And here some calcid wasp, family Eurytamidae and Perilampidae. And I've seen here just somewhere Dinacampus, probably this one, yellow one. And Gallus also was here somewhere. Wingless braconid. I want to show you different braconids. Maybe you can find Gallus as well. I'm not sure. So these are Braconidae family. Different species. Author of this chapter is Dr. Kotenko, expert on Braconidae. He created here text in a book and he corrected drawings. Our artist who was working in our department, Mr. Slovokhotov, Valery, he did these pictures under the control of Entomologist and Ichneumonidae. And here some this chapter about flies, about Tachinidae family. These are parasitic flies which are also damaging in many times different caterpillars in a natural environment. So if you collect some hawk moths, natural environment, you can keep them in captivity, but you cannot receive adults because caterpillar can be infested with these funny, hairy, very aggressive parasitic flies, family Tachinidae. And here the chapter about calcid wasps. I participated in making these drawings precise because artist was not very precise, but I did all corrections of sizes, all corrections of tiny details. All these drawings, colorful pictures, were done on a big size. So each of these pictures originally has about 2 or 3 times bigger. I did some videos about it. Here some calcid wasps. In my group of study, these are tiny Trichogrammatide wasp. Here some Aphilinidae, Eulophidae, and somewhere final one. These yellowish insects. These are Trichogramma, tiny egg parasitoids, very tiny, about 0.5 millimeter size. These are Platygastridae. Minty, what is your home country? Okay, someone is asking for to be deleted. Oh, Minty from California, my great pleasure. Still warm in California, but it's already cool little bit in Ukraine. So what's about pupal parasitoids? As I was talking with you about larval parasitoids, these are Braconidae. We are crowding here. A lot of